Good morning. This is Dan Mullis, Superintendent for the Hudson School District. We're getting ready to start the beginning of the new school year, and this is our first installment for the 2026-2027 school year. I have a special guest with me today. I will let you introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Officer Shaw. I'm the Elementary School Resource Officer here for the town of Hudson.
And we are very fortunate to have Officer Shaw here today from the Hudson Police Department. We're going to be talking about today with the community and students and families some safety tips and reminders as we begin the new school year. And the first is, as we, Officer Shaw, look to the beginning of the school year, how does the Hudson Police Department prepare every year for schools to reopen, to be back in session, and for students to return to our buildings?
Yeah, so initially, first day of school, super exciting for students and families. Throughout the community, at all the buildings, you'll see several officers. Feel free to go over, say hi. They're there to assist you, answer any questions that you might have, and just in general, make sure everybody feels welcome and safe to start that first day of school. With addition to officers being there the first day, the first 2 weeks of the school year, we'll have increased patrols throughout the school zones in town, stopping commuters, reminding them school speed limits, stopping for school buses, reminding them that the crossing guards are out there, and that some of the rules on the road change during that school year. So,
now, Officer Shaw, you've been with us as our school resource officer for how many years now?
I'll be starting my third school year with you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so for those of you that don't know, Officer Shaw is one of our school resource officers here. We have three school resource officers, Officer Shaw, Officer Donahue, who's the school resource officer at Hudson Memorial School, and then Officer Cologne, who is our SRO, school resource officer at the high school. Officer Shaw predominantly works with all of our elementary schools in the district. So it's great to have you back, Officer Shaw.
Thank you.
What are the biggest challenges with the start of the new school year safety-wise?
Definitely traffic is a huge challenge. I encourage commuters to give themselves that extra 5 minutes once the school year starts. There'll be a lot more traffic with the school buses and the crossing guards, as well as to start to pay attention on their morning commutes to at what points they're entering a school zone and where those speed limits change, so that they can be better prepared come Monday to properly follow those speed limits.
That's great. That's great. And over the past couple of years, we've seen a rise in the use of electronic bikes and other alternative forms of transportation by our students throughout the district, and not only in Hudson, but in many districts across the state of New Hampshire. What has the police department done to assist and to help with safety of those riders that are riding e-bikes and assist the community when it comes to these e-bikes?
Yeah, so we're trying our best to educate the public so that they're following the proper safety procedures when it comes to whatever type of vehicle their students might be riding. So there you'll see at all of the schools, we have some informational posters around the buildings that have the breakdown of what vehicle your student might be driving, what safety requirements go along with that vehicle, as well as Officer Donahue at Memorial had kind of come up with a great idea that I think you guys are going to implement this year with students that are choosing to ride bikes or e-bikes to the school campuses, where they'll have to come kind of fill out some paperwork, pre-register that bike with the schools, and that way we can kind of keep better track of, who's on bikes, who has permission to be on bikes, what kind of bikes they're riding, and keep everybody better protected.
So that was a great recommendation by Officer Donahue, again, one of our school resource officers at Hudson Memorial School, in collaboration with the Hudson Police Department and our school board. We have a new procedure in place that includes alternative forms of transportation, including e-bikes, and a form that both the parent or parents and student need to sign. And I noticed today, Officer Shaw, you have some safety tips in an infographic format that we've been prominently messaging out at all of our schools in the district level. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so the PD has come up with these kind of handy-dandy information cards that will provide you with the type of bike that your student might ride, as well as the laws and rules that go along with that type of vehicle. We'll be handing these out to any family that registers a vehicle with the school district for their student to ride. So these are for you guys to keep, get all the proper information about what that bike needs in order to be safely operated on the roadways. And then additionally, if families have any questions about the bike or the vehicle that their student might be riding, they can always speak to an SRO or contact the police department. We'd be happy to sit down with them and go over what they need for that bike to be properly equipped to be on the roadway.
So the first few days of school, as Officer Shaw mentioned, along with students and parents or guardians filling out the form, we'll be providing this nice message that has been created by the Hudson Police Department, again with some reminders, some safety tips, and items that you need to know before you're on an electronic bike or other form of transportation. Other forms of transportation for students in our district include buses. And what are some of the safety tips for families and students who are frequent bus riders?
Yeah, if your student rides the bus regularly, I would encourage you to sit them down, have a conversation with, following the bus driver's instructions, reminding them to remain seated while the bus is in motion. Driving a school bus is extremely difficult, especially when you have 20 students on that bus with you. If students are up moving about, it can make it really unsafe. So I really encourage students to remain seated during the ride, listen to the instructions of their bus driver. I also would suggest families get to know the bus driver. Introduce yourselves, get to know, what your bus driver's name is, build that relationship so that way, if things aren't going smoothly, you can have those conversations before it becomes a serious problem.
And I know one of the items that the bus drivers have said to me is when the yellow lights are flashing that they're getting ready to stop and the stop signs out, abiding by those rules of staying back from the bus and adhering to the stop sign and all of those sorts of things. Yeah,
school bus stop signs are the same as a stop sign you would come to anywhere on the roadway. Even if you're traveling in the opposite lane, if there's not a physical barrier in the roadway, you have to stop for that stop sign as well. So important reminders for commuters as well, that those buses will be stopping frequently, and when that stop sign is out and those red lights are flashing, they have to stop.
Great. And then our last question is, do you have, Officer Shaw, any other safety tips as far as arrival, dismissal to school? You had mentioned a little bit the school zone speed limits. We've talked a little bit about adhering to buses, or any additional feedback and reminders for the community and for all of us as we prepare to start the new school year?
Yeah, again, I would just encourage commuters to give themselves that extra 5 to 10 minutes as traffic's going to increase. You'll be stopping a lot more frequently. Some speed limits will slow down. I would also encourage families to get out to the meet and greets at the buildings, meet their teachers, figure out the layout of the school, ask any questions before the school year starts. So on day one, you don't feel lost and confused.
Great. So with that said, as Officer Shaw mentioned, our first day with students is Monday, August 24th. We will be welcoming students to the start of the 2026-2027 school year. We look forward this Friday, as Officer Shaw mentioned. We have our school meet and greet schedules for all of our schools, as well as 9th grade orientation at Alvern High School. So I know that those messages have been sent out by the principals, and we've had those in the district update. We look forward to having our students. We appreciate the great partnership, Officer Shaw, we have with you, the Hudson Police Department. This is a great example of how we've worked together to, again, keep everyone safe and know that there are different forms of transportation that are ever changing and evolving. And again, we just want to make sure everyone's staying safe and getting ready for the start of the new school year. And also, again, as I always say, thank you to HCTV for giving us this venue to send out messages each month to our families, students, staff, and community.